Gaza war intensifies ahead of Trump-Netanyahu meeting. Ukraine proposes joint aerial shield amid escalating Russian strikes. The US faces slowing government shutdown as budget talks stall. European Union migration pressure eases as asylum claims drop. Good afternoon and welcome to Around the World in 30 minutes on Politics and Business Television. I am Bulus Joanna Ray. Many thanks for joining us. Details of these stories and more content to come after the short break. Stay with us. I can't hear my thing. The Israeli airstrikes killed at least 50 Palestinians in the past 24 hours, including 5 aid seekers, as the military deepens its offensive in Gaza City. Thousands remain displaced and entire neighborhoods have been leveled. The death toll since October 2023 has surpassed 66,000, with over 168,000 injured, according to Gaza's health ministry. Prime Minister Netanyahu is set to meet President Trump in Washington today with hopes of brokering a ceasefire. Meanwhile, Yemen's Houthis claimed to have launched a hypersonic missile at Israel, and unrest continues in the West Bank, where Israeli forces arrested 15 Palestinians overnight. Meanwhile, President Zelensky has proposed a joint aerial defense shield with European allies to counter Russian drone and missile attacks. Over the weekend, Kyiv and Zaporizhzhia were hit by waves of strikes, killing at least 4 people, including a 12-year-old girl. NATO scrambled fighter jets in Poland as Russia launched over 500 drones and 40 missiles. Zelensky praised Trump's balanced stance and urged global powers to increase pressure on Moscow. Meanwhile, Russia's military losses continue to mount, with 940 troops reported killed or wounded in the past 24 hours. And back in Washington, the U.S. government is on the brink of a shutdown, with Congress failing to pass a funding bill before the October 1st deadline. Economists warn that each week of shutdown could cost the economy $7 billion, affecting federal workers, contractors, and key services. Despite a strong Q2 GDP revision to plus 3.8%, political gridlock threatens to derail momentum. The Federal Reserve recently cut rates, but uncertainty around budget negotiations and oil price swings has rattled markets. Social Security and Medicare will continue, but administrative delays are expected. Meanwhile, in the UK, at the Labour Party conference in Liverpool, Chancellor Rachel Reeves announced a plan to guarantee paid work placements for young people unemployed over 18 months. The initiative aims to tackle long-term youth joblessness and be part of the upcoming autumn statement. Meanwhile, Foreign Secretary Vit Cooper addressed the Gaza crisis, pledging to pressure Israel for a ceasefire. The UK government is coordinating with France and other G7 nations to recognize Palestine, marketing a shift from US policy. Calls for arms export bans and sanctions are gaining traction within the party. And turning to Asia, China's economy is slowing, with domestic risk like a housing crash, weak consumption, and overcapacity replacing external stocks as the main drag on growth. The 2025 GDP forecast remains at 4.8%, but recent data has disappointed markets. The 15th five-year plan draft is expected later this year, outlining China's path towards socialist modernization by 2035. Meanwhile, Beijing's effort to strengthen ties with the global South face resistance as many developing countries push back against China's trade surplus and limited capital flows. And you're still watching news around the world in 30 minutes live on Politics and Business TV. Still to come, Russia plans tax hikes amid economic strain from war. Stay with us. Welcome back. In Moscow, Russia's economy is under pressure with the government planning to raise VAT to 22% and cut non-defense spending to manage. News have plunged and inflation is cooling after aggressive interest rate hikes. Military spending remains high, prompting speculation that Putin may seek a peace deal to ease economic strain. Analysts warn that continued cuts to education, healthcare, and social programs could destabilize the domestic narrative of resilience. And in South Asia, the apex body Leh has pulled out of talks with the Indian government after climate activist Sonam Wangchuk was arrested under the National Security Act. The group cited anti-national labeling of statehood protest and recent police shootings as reasons for withdrawal. Elsewhere, Mumbai faces an orange alert for heavy rainfall with civic authorities warning of flooding in low-lying areas. Meanwhile, a deadly stampede at a political rally in Tamil Nadu has sparked national outrage, prompting investigations and high-level visits. And across Europe, the European Environment Agency says over 80% of protected habitats are in poor condition due to population, overexploitation, and climate change. Europe is the fastest warming continent and water resources are under severe pressure. Despite a 37% drop in emissions since 1990, the EU is set to miss its global climate targets due to international divisions. The agency warns that the window for meaningful actions is closing, with tipping points approaching in both ecosystems and economic systems. Meanwhile, in Africa, the Africa CDC has received direct funding approval from the UK government, marking a major milestone in its institutional reform journey. The agency now joins global partners like the World Bank and EU in managing health programs independently. Director General Dr. Jane Kaseya hailed the move as a vote of confidence in African leadership. The funding will support pandemic preparedness, vaccine distribution, and regional health infrastructure across Central, Eastern, Western, and Southern Africa. In other news, irregular border crossings into the EU fell by 21% in the first 8 months of 2025, with asylum applications down 23%. The decline is attributed to the fall of the Assad regime, reducing Syrian claims and tighter border controls. Venezuelans now top the asylum list, mostly applying in Spain. Meanwhile, over 4.3 million Ukrainians remain under temporary protection